Good morning and welcome back to Big Fat Head TV. Here's my big fat head. And, yeah. So, as I briefly talked with the bus driver this morning about, it seems Joe Biden punked us, doesn't it? Calling for an end to debate on the night before my birthday. So I wind up spending my birthday morning tweeting. Because I just woke up and felt like getting on a tirade. And I'm coming to enjoy the challenge of trying to make, an eloquent statement in 120 characters. Especially while, tagging someone or tweeting at someone. Maybe, taking a tweet on them. Taking a twit on them. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah. So if you haven't, go check out my Twitter feed there, because I'm regularly ripping anyone who deserves it a new one. And, likes and retweets apparently help, or, something like that. So if you're not already doing that for me, I'd appreciate it. See, we're in a very auspicious time. It seems like we've kind of been cut off from the outside world on the internet. The last real report I heard from any kind of tactical situation overseas was CCTV reporting that Turkey was going to start trying to deny access to our airbase there on the border with Syria. I find this very interesting because 6 months ago, the Shilliverse reported this. And it didn't seem to me like it was really happening. So I don't know whether or not this is really happening. But the Shilliverse isn't reporting it. So it may actually be happening. While the Chinese government, and therefore CCTV, does have its Communist Party influence, it is not entirely controlled by them. Alright, looking at some Perculus fighting fishies. Little baby fishies. Anyway. So, John McCain makes his little zombie face, but there were some concerning things in the WikiLeaks releases about Hillary Clinton. I can sense every time someone makes an informed decision regarding whether or not they know better than me. I can sense it. That by itself should rule out the foregone conclusion. Okay? We are headed towards disaster. And no amount of coyness will suffice to abate it. We have one choice. Repay Babylon or become it. Understood? There are already plenty of possibilities leading towards that fruition of prophecy, that fulfillment of prophecy. That is not the original intent. But this is not a movie. This is an RPG. You know? This is not just going to go by the script. This depends on you. This is all up to you. All of you. I have no intention of ending free will. Those who have interpreted the Bible as such have led everyone astray. Why? Why would the inventor of free will seek to end it? After all the sacrifice that's been endured to maintain it, the very idea is preposterous. But thus has mankind become complacent in its actions here at the end of all things. Thus have Christians especially become complacent here at the time in which the truth is the only thing that can set them free. So, the coyness is not helpful. Your actions, Mr. McCain, Mr. Graham, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Trump, need to be governed by honor and dignity for Americans, whether they're your political enemies or not. What has to happen for absolute crisis to be averted is the Democrats and the Republicans both need to, quote, move to the center, as it were. Recognize that it is the tactical of intent. Recognize that I sometimes have trouble stuttering. Recognize that it is the tactical intention of the Kremlin counterintelligence campaign to get you exactly where you are today. And therefore, you should take a step away from that position, should you not. Standing right where the enemy wants you is fucking stupid, isn't it? And every time one of our government officials quotes WikiLeaks, stand in the place that you were, now face north. Don't think about the missiles coming at you and blowing you up. I look at the Kellyanne Conway smile. Donald Trump won this election free and fair. You know, there's some people that you can just kind of sense that they lack a soul. And then there's other people that just their very presence, you feel like your soul's being ripped out of your body, like they're sucking it out of you. Oh my God, okay. Isn't that special? But on the 21st, 20th, 20th, 21st, I guess we could technically get away with the 21st. Give me 24 hours to mourn, you know. But technically, according to the rules of the game, as long as I wish to persist in my current intention, I have to obey the rules of the game, which dictate that once Donald Trump takes the oath of office, my greater spiritual self should have total influence over him. Which doesn't mean everything's going to be all roses. It means that his heart will be hardened when the opportunity arises for God's will to be done. Even if that is to lead us to disaster. Whether we be victorious or not, war is a disaster. But there are some times in which peace can only be found on the other side of it. Mankind has faced that time for now 1,600 years, maybe 2,400 years straight. One war has been going on for that long. The war between good and evil. Between people who just want to live their lives, be productive, raise children, and people who want what other people have. People who don't have faith, who don't have the ability to accept their fate. So they want to come fuck yours up. They want to raid your village, take your crops, kidnap your children, and go build themselves an even bigger army so they can do it all over again. That's been going on here for thousands of years. But it hasn't always been this way. And it doesn't need to be. There is a point of awakening that humanity can achieve. A point of peacefulness that humanity can achieve that will put an end to death and suffering as you know it. You can't even imagine, can you? You can't even imagine a world like that. I've been in a world like that. It's rather lovely. And I don't understand the reluctance to seize the opportunity. If there was even a sliver of a chance that such a world could be made of this place, why would you not take action? Why would you not go forward in the little tiny baby steps it takes to get you there? There are people on this planet who plan other ways of getting themselves there because they think they know better than I do. Oh. Isn't that adorable? They also somehow seem to think that they could possibly escape God's wrath. Really? You know, people can think whatever they want, I guess. The thing is, I've made a consistent documentary effort to prove, to a certain extent, that it's not very plausible that you might get away with ignoring such warnings. For instance, I've stated previously that according to the rules of the game, if I take action that you can perceive, it limits my ability to take action that you cannot. Case in point, so that I can go ahead and put an expiration on this particular stream of energy being released. It's just my birthday morning tirade. I did not include Nancy Pelosi. Do I think she could have done more? Obviously. House Minority Leader. They should have made some sort of fiasco about this. Of all the times, they could have had sit-downs and different protests, walkouts, that sort of thing. Our nation being invaded by Nazis. You know, you'd think that would be up there on the list. In California in general, the West Coast in general, you know, they've been more complacent than they should be. You know who I'm talking to. You know I'm right. So I just wanted to put it on record. Look at the weather map. See the strongholds of Bernie or bust nutcases. How's the weather up there? These are just samples of the world to come. I haven't even picked out paint yet. I wait. Ever so patiently. The way a parent waits. Seeing their children across the house, down the hall, getting into a little petty fucking fight. I wait. And I stare and I think, have these children lost their goddamn mind? Yeah. Yes. Clearly they have. So then you yell at them. Put your hands on each other, and I'll whoop both your asses. But, like any good parent, I must determine the aggressor. And the aggressor should get the more severe punishment. And no matter how well typically that older child, it's usually the older one, isn't it? It's usually the older one. The little one always winds up learning some of the dirty tricks of the older one. And sometimes they wind up starting shit. Sometimes they wind up doing shitty things. But overall, nothing compares to the manipulative ability of that older one when it comes time to deny responsibility for a confrontation. I think we know which child I'm speaking of. So, once my battery is charged, I'm going to film the video that I promised earlier. And hopefully you've watched this whole video so you can know what the hell it's going to be about. Because I'm going to have to leave some things off of that video and tell you about them right now. In as roundabout a way as I can. Hopefully you'll get the message. But the thing is, this is a source that I'm going to reveal. I've talked about them previously, but I don't want to make it too clear to, lazy trolls or bots or whatever, so that they can't go and suppress these guys even more than they've been suppressed since this thing goes on, since this has been going on. If all was right and just, okay, not like a perfect world, okay, still conflict and shitty things, shitty people doing shitty stuff, but if there was like not an overarching element of cowardice on the part of Nod, if things were equal, things were allowed to be equal, without constant deception, this channel would be, should be, by all rights, but isn't, one of the most popular channels in the world on YouTube. They have so much raw information about the paramount existential struggle that we all face right now, that we've been facing but ignoring for the past 3 years. It's almost 4 years. I keep on saying like 2.5, 3. I keep on like underestimating how long I've been on top of this shit, how long it's been going on, because like people now are just catching on, just starting to. I'm like, oh, the Russians exist, like ah. So this channel, let's see if you were to spell it, you would take a competing form of currency and add a maiden with a different pronunciation, space, the noise cats make minus the U, 2 letters. Yeah. So, okay. And my next video is just going to be kind of a little trailer for them. If you're a journalist who's, come across my channel because I've promised you inside sources and information that prove Russia is behind 100%. 100% behind the invasion of Ukraine. 100% behind Islamic revolutionaries. You can find very raw, uncut videos that prove exactly that on this channel. And there's a lot of other channels that will pop up in your suggestions once you've been watching this channel for so long that are going to draw your attention in 2 ways. One, you're going to see the AMTV videos, which are a RT affiliate, by the way. AMTV is an RT affiliate pretending to be an American news channel that spreads the idea, like I just posted on Twitter, that Islamic State is in fact a Zionist conspiracy. Makes perfect fucking sense, doesn't it? Oh yeah, they say that the CIA and Mossad created Islamic State. Not the KGB. Yeah, it's not their job to say that, because they are the KGB. Oh, the KGB said it. It must be true. No. The KGB says it. You take that, and you remember, elementary school English, and you make it the opposite of what they said. Then you have the truth. They say we know who's behind ISIS, and they're pointing the finger. Just remember, they have 3 fingers pointing back at themselves. Oh. So, I guess that's all for this video. Gonna go ahead and let this cell phone charge up. And I'll see y'all after a while. Hope you found this little lecture informative and stimulating. If you'd like proof of what I've been saying, proof that the election has been influenced, proof of, anything that needs to be proven right now, it's already been provided on this channel. Just, scroll through. I have a pretty limited ability to manage the suggested videos, but you can find proof of my claims. And while I use still freeze frames so that I don't get my videos taken down, I don't want to plagiarize other people's videos, my still freeze frames use the channel name, the video name. You can go find the videos for yourself, watch them in their entirety. My dad was here for the weekend, and even he would see some of the photos that I had and be like, "Oh, that's doctored." Like, no, that's a video, Dad. I pressed pause and I took a photo. I don't have Photoshop. I just don't have it. I have the photo editor that came with Google, and I have whatever editor came with Microsoft Windows. That's it. So I don't have the capability to do such things, and even if I did, you can go look at the original source videos. I reference them in all of my proofs. And bear in mind that the only contradicting story to what I tell you, is under the influence of the Kremlin, including United States officials and apparently our fucking president. They get their information from the Kremlin. I I don't get it. I don't get it. Unless they're trying to be coy and they're planning something. But such thinking reflects a complete misunderstanding of the Russian mindset. If you think you can prepare in secret, they will out prepare you in secret. If you think that you can be coy, they will simply be more coy. The only thing the devil will flee from is the truth.